We met because he stalked me. He stalked me. That's how we met. Hi, I'm Ashley Rios.
And I'm Edwin Rios.
And we've been married for 18 years. And the rest is history.
Yeah, rest is history.
So, I had just transferred schools and I was devastated. It was just the worst thing ever, right, that happened to me. And I was in third lunch, and then this guy walks up.
So I saw her, and she was talking to one of my other teammates. Mm-hmm. I played football.
Just yapping, just the yapping and a yapping. Yeah.
I come over and I'm like, hey, you wanna? Can you introduce me? And he was like, I'm trying to introduce myself.
And then he's like, okay. And then he like walked away. And I remember thinking like, oh great. So the cute one just left. But right. You know, whatever. And they're talking about how they play football and all these things. And I'm like, I do not care. I went to an arts high school, shout out to Duke Ellington School of the Arts. And we didn't have sports teams, so it just, wasn't quite impressive. Anyway, let's get to the stalking part. So lunch is over. I walk out and who's waiting? Who's waiting behind the door?
I'm waiting for her. So I'm waiting for her to come out. And I was like, I heard it was her first day, and our school is massive, and she was coming from a small school. So I was like, hey, do you need help getting to your class? Show me, showing you where your classes are.
And I did need help. Because again, like I went from a school from like 350 kids to like 3,500. Didn't know where I was, anything like that, right? So I'm thinking, oh, this is nice. Sure, you can help me to my class. Which he does. And then after every class, that day, there he was, waiting to show me how to get to the next class. And I'm thinking, oh, what a coincidence, right?
So I asked to see her schedule to see where her class was so I could walk her to her class. Well, she didn't know I memorized the remaining of her schedule. So, and then for the rest of the day, I would make an excuse to get out of class early so that when she gets out of class, I'm there waiting for her to show her.
And here I go thinking like, oh my gosh, all of our classes are like right beside each other. Until later on in the year when we're like together and then I'm looking like he has no classes near me. And so that's why I say he was a stalker.
She'll attest to this. I told her, I said she's gonna be my wife.
He did.
I did. And I mean, she was just beautiful. She was different from the sense that, like, he was talking to her about football. She could care less, and I didn't mention football. My teammate that was talking to her was mentioning football. I didn't care about that. And her attitude, I just loved something about it. Was like, and to this day, is still.
I love that we have on camera that he just admitted that he loves my attitude. That is so great.
I mean, I do because I felt like it was something that I needed, like it was like someone else going to tell me like, no, that's not right. You do the right, whatever it was. I mean, I could just sense that in her that she didn't play, and I appreciated that.
Listen, DC girl through and through, okay? My first impression was that he was cute, right? So I'm like, because remember, I'm like, why did the cute one walk away? Yeah, so I was a little jaded. Again, I didn't want to be there. I thought that this was just the worst thing ever, switching to this school, oh my God, my life is over. And I was this little DC girl with an attitude. So, when he told me his name, he's like, hi, I'm Rios. And I was like, Rios? What kind of name is Rios? And then he kind of just like, he was like, oh, my dad's Puerto Rican. I'm like, oh, okay. But he was nice and he was attentive and it was all the things. He was a gentleman, showing me to my classes, checking on me, making sure that I was okay. And he definitely is what made that experience, completely different. And it's like, it was one thing that I thought was the worst thing that ever happened to me. And then the rest is history.
Like, I think after I started walking to her class and I would show up to the classes, then I asked her, I was like, hey, I don't know what you're doing on the weekend, but we have a football game. If you want to come to the football game. So she came to the football game. She knew nothing about football at that time, but now she knows.
Oh, I know everything.
Everything about football.
Everything. Coverages, the whole, you name it. I know it. Yeah, okay.
And And it just grew instantly. Like we've been inseparable
Since that day.
Since that day.
To be honest.
I met her on
literally since that day.
We met on her first day at the school, and we've been together ever since.
The rest is history.
Rest is
That's what I'm
history,
saying.
yeah.
The rest is literally history.
Yeah.
We've been inseparable. I guess there really is like a love at first sight. I don't know if that's like cheesy or cliche or what, but
It really is.
we've
Like,
literally been together ever since.
since then, like I remember, like our first year, we had like a snow, and I'm from DC. I grew up in DC. I lived in DC, so it kind of like for me to meet a DC girl at Maryland school was like cool for me.
Yeah.
And then like I remember the snowstorms. I would catch the bus and walk, and then our parents going to see this.
No, don't. What?
I would. So
Nothing.
when we have a
Nothing. Nothing.
we have a snow day.
No. 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 He would walk and see me in the snow.
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah, walk and see right now. Catch the bus, the metro, for those folks that's
Oh my God.
to be with her, no matter what.
He
no
would.
matter what it took.
I'll tell you another sacrifice. Remember when you used to work at the bagel shop?
Okay.
He worked at this bagel shop, right? And he would bring me a bagel, like every day when he got off. He would bring me a bagel. That wasn't the love. The love was he would put mustard on it for me. And if you know him, like he can't even stand the smell of mustard, the sight of he hates mustard. And he would bring me a bagel sandwich with mustard that he would walk it a mile to get it to me.
Yeah.
See? That's why he's still here today.
Yeah.
Mustard on bagel sandwiches.
I think for me, it made me. She taught me how to be vulnerable. I think as a black man growing up, you kind of grow up and it's like, no, you can't cry. You fall, you hurt. You know you hurt, but no, you can't make. Don't show any emotions on that. And she showed me that it's okay. To that, she provides that shoulder sometime as a man that I need to. Babe, the world is hard. Like these are the things that I'm going through. These are the things that I'm experiencing, and being able to work through that together, and give me that place to land, to be vulnerable. When I go out into the world, I have to have the bulldog face on to survive. So I think that's something that she's really, that as we've grown, that she's taught me, and I confide in.
For me, I think the best part has been like watching him go from like the boy to the man, and in between that, like him falling in love with himself and him being able to see himself through the same eyes that I've always seen him through. Just really just loving on him, understanding his value, how amazing he is, like just all the things that I know about him that he now knows about himself. That's been like the best part for me. Yeah.
I mean, I knew that for me it was just the sacrifice, and I say this, and we have our like an intimate conversation with each other, and it's like I know her dream before she even met me was always to be an actress, but I knew if she needed to give up her dream of acting, if it was me or her dream, that she would choose me. And that's not something that I take lightly or anything like that. And never would I ever make her try to sacrifice that for me or nothing like that. But I just knew that she places me in our love above anything. That's what's most important in our life, is our love. And you don't meet someone, too many people that are willing to sacrifice their dream for love. And I just truly appreciate that. Like I tell people all the time, like they see how of an amazing actress she is, but she's an even better wife, even better mom to our children, an even better person, just to her core, and that's just special, and I'll never let that go.
Thank you. It's funny because even with like me doing this, like it's a lot. Like it's a lot for him to, share me with the world. And he's a lot of things, and he's also selfish. So, okay. So to share me in this capacity, I know it's a huge sacrifice, and I know that it's not easy at all. But his willingness to do so just is another representation of his unconditional love for me. And yeah.
And I feel like, you know, when you love someone, their dreams are your dreams. So she wanted to be an actress. So she'll tell you I researched like I know what a PA is, and what a DP is, and I learned these things.
And years ago, remember, you surprised me. He
Oh, yeah.
surprised me with acting lessons with the amazing Susan Batson in New York, which was also another sacrifice because then I was going back and forth between New York and DC so that I could take those classes. And those are the things that, you know, just like examples of the things that he would do just to make sure that my dream could come true. So.